G'day guys, Darius here with another episode. Today we're going to change your radiator. I'm going to upgrade the one in the Forester from a single core to a dual core. Just because it runs really hot here in the summer, so I'm just going to upgrade to a dual core. Let's get to it. Okay, so the tools that you're going to need are your standard socket set. I think in this case it'll be a 10, maybe a 12mm, but you know, standard socket set. Various pliers to undo your hose clamps, but if you don't have clamps, I highly recommend getting a clamp removal tool. In the last 10 years that I've had this, it has never let me down once, so highly recommend getting one of these if your hands can't reach in certain spots, even if underneath. It makes your job a whole lot easier. And then coolant of your specification and your radiator. Okay, so the first thing that you want to do is to drain your coolant. So one way to do that is to release the pressure. Actually, there's still a bit of pressure in that, but I'll release it anyway. Right, and then undo that little, I'm not sure if I'll focus on it. There's a little drain cock there. You undo that, and the coolant will run out from the bottom, and then you will need to unplug, say, fans and stuff, because I've got to reuse the shroud on this. I'll have to unplug fan plug down there, and there's a secondary one over here somewhere, if I can find it. There. And then I think in this case I'll have to remove the overflow first to clear the AC line, and then I can undo the hoses and then go from there. Okay, so I've now drained my coolant and letting it drain out via gravity. So now I'm just going to take off all my respective hoses. 1, 2, down there somewhere. And yeah, let's get to it. Okay, so I'm just about ready to take out this radiator, so bear with me. I'm going to try and do this one-handed, but let's see. And almost there. Okay, sweet. Alright, so as you can see, I'm just bring it over to the new one. I'm going to lay it as if it's matching. Okay, so then it just makes the transfer a whole lot easier. I'm going to take this opportunity to flush out the coolant. I think someone's really feeling themselves over there. Anyways, I'm going to use a garden hose to flush out all this coolant and just flush out any old coolant that's there, like so. Hopefully we'll see that come out that way. Hopefully, somewhere. Anyway, it's starting to trickle through now. Yep, like that. And just keep it going until I guess you see clear water. I'm only doing it, like, you don't, if the coolant's not that old, you don't really need to do it, or if it's not that contaminated, you don't really need to do it, but I have it out, so I might as well try and do it. I don't know the service history of this thing, so I'm just going to do it for the extra insurance. Also, just to add, if you're having trouble flushing coolant through here, through the top reservoir, what you can do is try and have some compressed air and just blow it through here to push it out through here. I don't have compressed air here, so I'm blowing it out manually with my mouth. Then again, I've had worse things on my mouth, so yeah, let's get it done. Okay, so I put it over into the new radiator, and I've just noticed something. The bolts that do come out of the old radiator are completely different to the ones that are supplied. So it's imperative that you use the supplied bolts, otherwise your cooling fans actually might not hold in there. But actually, now that I look at it, I'll just put this in back here for a sec. It seems like the radiator was on the way out anyway. There's already telltale signs, so I'm actually quite glad I'm changing it over this time. Okay, so the shroud is now on. I've actually had to modify the shroud in order to accept the new radiator.
Not that much, but just trim it a little bit there and there and make the holes bigger. But yeah, now it's ready to put back on.
Okay, so the radiator is all back in, all plugged in, all hoses on. So now it's time to fill up the coolant.
I've always had this makeshift funnel because it's always easy to bleed the coolant from a higher point. I'll move from fill up the radiator first, and fill up that there, and then fill up this lastly. But I'm gonna fill this up first. And then I forgot to add also, as you're filling it up and bleeding it through, this one's a bit more complicated. So I'm just going to try and use the funnel to tell whether it's actually bleeding through or not. Because as I'm filling it up and starting it up, it's basically a repeat process of filling it up, bleeding it, rechecking the level, and once you feel like it's good enough and the heat has come through, take it for a drive with the cap on, so it's pressurized, let the car cool down, and then top up as necessary. So I'm just going to keep bleeding it until I start it up, which I will do in a sec. Make sure it's still cycling through, let it idle. Yeah, repeat the process. Then what we do, turn on the heater, full blast, make sure the AC is off so you're not killing it, and just have that go through the vents. And then you know it's good when hot air comes through the vents. That's when you know it's bled through. So essentially what I like to do is I'll hold the revs to about 2.5, making sure it's bleeding through. That way the thermostat can open up as well and bleed through properly. Keep repeating the cycle until it bleeds through. Okay, so as you can see, bubbles are coming through the bottle. Gives you a clear indication whether there's still air in the system or not. It's still overflowing because air is now rushing up to the top. This is a good indication of whether you still have air in the system or not. Yeah, just gotta let that go through. As it is. Okay, so now I'm starting to feel heat through these vents again. Now it's essentially of just keeping an eye on the temp, letting it run and cycle through for a little bit longer, and then turning off the car, letting it cool down and topping it up. Okay, so I've just finished it all up. I've just topped up both the radiator and the turbo reservoir. I do love how it's a stealthier install, nothing that stands out. Quite simple to do. The only thing is that because I've got a turbo coolant reservoir here, I've had to bleed the radiator first, and then bleed the reservoir, because I couldn't get all the air pockets out straight away, but still got there. So yeah, I'm pretty stoked, and until the next one, guys, peace.